All right, we're about to take a whole week's worth of learning about building the next generation of AI and condense it all down into the next 5 minutes. We're talking about AI that can learn, reason, and act on its own. So, from the basic idea all the way to deployment, let's dive in. So, think about this for a second. What if you could ask an AI about what's happening in the market right now? Or even better, ask it a question about your company's latest internal sales report and actually get a perfect answer. The problem is, most AI models can't do that. They're kind of stuck in the past with this hard knowledge cutoff. Well, today, we're going to fix that. So here's the game plan. First, we'll break down the core problem. Then, we'll talk about the key solution, which is called RAG. After that, we'll get into the actual toolkit you need to build these things. From there, we'll see how to automate it, and we'll wrap up with the super important stuff, deployment and our responsibilities as builders. Okay, first things first, let's get right to the heart of it. Why do these incredibly powerful large language models, or LLMs, need any help from us in the first place? You see, the core issue is that an LLM's knowledge is basically frozen in time. It was trained on this huge but totally static data set. That means it has no clue what happened yesterday, let alone 5 minutes ago. And it definitely can't see your private documents or connect to your company's database. It's essentially working from an old public library. So, how do we get around this? Well, with a really cool technique called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. The absolute easiest way to think about it is like this. We're giving the AI an open book test. We're handing it the exact notes it needs right before it has to answer our question. RAG is basically a bridge. It connects the LLM's powerful reasoning brain to external, up-to-the-minute information. And this is a huge deal because it changes the AI from being a knower of facts into a reasoner that uses information we give it. That's a much safer and more scalable way to work. Before the AI even thinks about generating an answer, we've handed it a custom-made cheat sheet with exactly what it needs to know. And the process itself, it's actually surprisingly simple. It really just boils down to 3 steps. First, you ask a question. Then, step 2, the system zips off and retrieves the most relevant info from your documents or the web. And finally, step 3, it bundles your question and that new info together and gives it to the LLM to generate a way more accurate and informed answer. Okay, so that's the what. Now for the how. To actually build this stuff in the real world, you need a toolkit, and the industry is already starting to rally around a few key players. The 2 big ones you have to know are LangChain and Llama Index. Think of LangChain as the plumbing for your AI system. It connects all the different parts together. Llama Index, on the other hand, is like a super smart librarian for your private data. It's designed to make your documents and databases super easy for the AI to search. These 2 are the foundation, and then tools like LangGraph let you build even more sophisticated systems on top. Now, when you put these tools together, you unlock something called Agentic RAG, and this is where things get really, really exciting. The AI is no longer just a passive tool waiting for instructions. It becomes an active agent that can figure out what it needs to know, go find that information all by itself, and then use it to reason through a problem. That's a game changer. So, you've built this intelligent agent. That's awesome. But how do you put it to work in your everyday tasks without having to manually trigger it every single time? Well, that's where tools like n8n come into play. n8n is all about making automation visual. Instead of writing a bunch of code, you get this drag-and-drop interface where you can connect different services. This means you can easily link up your AI agents to databases, APIs, and all sorts of other apps to create these really powerful automated workflows, even if you're not a coder. And the possibilities here are just massive. You could, for example, build a workflow that automatically reads every incoming email, uses your AI agent to figure out if it's urgent, a sales lead, or just spam, and then sends it to the right person or system, all happening instantly, completely in the background. Okay, so you've built your agent, you've automated a workflow. The last piece of the puzzle is actually getting it out into the world for people to use. But this is also where we have to take a deep breath and really think about the immense responsibility that comes with creating tools this powerful. So, to get your app in front of users, you're going to need an interface. Tools like Gradio and Streamlit are fantastic for building one super quickly. Or you can use Fast API to create an API so other apps can talk to your agent. These are the on-ramps that take your project from your laptop to the rest of the world. But with all this incredible power comes, well, you know how the saying goes. And honestly, this might just be the most important part of this whole process. Look, when you build an AI that can access private, sensitive information, the stakes are just incredibly high. This means we have to be absolutely obsessed with privacy. We have to build rock-solid security to prevent misuse, and we have to design safeguards against harmful uses right from day one. It's not an afterthought. And there you have it. We've gone from the core problem, an AI stuck in time, to the solution with RAG, the toolkit to build it, the systems to automate it, and the responsibilities we have to guide it. You now have the complete roadmap for building a truly intelligent, agentic AI. So the real question isn't just what you'll build with it, but how you'll build it responsibly.